All right, the Krueger Show rolling after Giants baseball. Giants lose. Giants lose. Taylor Rogers walked the house. Oh, my goodness. Giants lose to the Dodgers. Dodgers take 2 out of 3. Giants go 2-4 on the homestand. Hope everybody's having a phenomenal Wednesday, April the 12th. We join you, Dan Coach Emilio, alongside Larry Krueger with you on the Pig in a Pickle Krueger Show, brought to you by Pig in a Pickle. Check them out, 2 locations there in Emeryville and Corte Madera, the best barbecue in Northern California. Pig in a Pickle, check them out. Open every day in Marin, open Wednesday through Sunday in Emeryville. All right. Giants lose. Darren Ruff is back. I interviewed Alex Wood today on 95.7 The Game, and it was very interesting. And the Dodgers get the win 10-5, and they wound up taking 2 out of 3 in the series. Game 3 of the series goes to the Dodgers. Danny, good to see you. Everybody in the chat, good to see all the regulars in the house. We got a bunch of people coming on over. Danny just went live stream. What time did you start your live stream, Danny?
It was about 9:15, yeah, and we just went in live, just discuss.
Okay, so you came on what, maybe bottom 8 or something like that?
Top 8, something like that.
Top 8, okay.
Top 8, something.
What was the dialogue on the NorCal Sports Network?
Yeah,
Everybody sign up for the NorCal Sports Network.
Yeah.
What was the vibe over there?
Yeah, the vibe was very anti-Giants. This is not a good team, not a playoff team. The title of my show was Dodgers Routing Giants Again. Nothing like it. And I'm going to use that all year. Nothing like it. And then I put in I did a little Larry. I said, but I went even a little further. Instead of saying, should the Giants fire Farhan and Kapler? I said, fire Farhan now. I'm serious. When I saw Darren Ruff in the lineup, I was like, okay, good for Darren Ruff. He got 2 hits, hit one off the wall. But is this the answer? Is this the answer that we got to?
Depends what the question is.
We're already bringing back a 36-year-old guy that has no speed. I mean, that's just
big Darren Ruff. Remember
Ruff is on the move.
What about was it Brian Anderson from TBS who big Darren Ruff? Oh man. Well,
he had a great season in 21. Last year was abysmal. I like the guy. I think he's an outstanding human being. I'm just tired of seeing guys that are taking spots from the youngsters. I mean, if you had Piscotty in camp, he had a great camp.
He's not a youngster, but yeah.
He's not young, but he's an athlete.
Right. I talked about this on the radio today. I firmly believe they blew that. Piscotty would have been a better player, I think, than Ruff. Definitely a more useful player because I think he can do more in the field. He's a better fielder.
Put Piscotty in center field if you were in a jam, and he would do a good job.
Right.
Not an everyday center fielder. He's a corner outfielder, but he could play center field, and he's done it before.
Gilbert Gamboa with all the former Dodgers killed us tonight. Stripling, Alexander, Farhan, Kapler. Tyro is by far Farhan's best acquisition. MF has checked in with what a joke. Ranger 49, they're getting salty. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. Gilbert Gamboa, new channel member. I guess Vaughn Brown and Luciano are injured. Haven't seen them play in Double-A. We got this one from channel member Ranger 49. He says, refused to walk Muncy, left Rogers in way, way too long. Yeah, Rogers didn't have anything. Taylor Rogers walked 4 in a row in the 6th inning. Let's talk a little bit about this game. Giants scored 2 in the first. Darren Ruff with an RBI double. Big Darren Ruff. And then J.D. Davis had a sac fly. Giants had a 2-0 lead. Giants added 1 in the 3rd to make it 3-0. Taylor Rogers then walks 4 in a row in the 6th inning. And then Max Muncy hits a 3-run shot in the 6th. Muncy had two home runs on the night. He's got 24 home runs in 75 games against the Giants.
I saw
it made it 8-3.
your poll on Twitter about who's the biggest giant.
Yeah, who is the biggest giant killer of all time? And I actually have an answer for that. We have a correct answer for that.
I think it's Arenado, but
Well, the modern ones are Arenado, Goldschmidt, Muncy. Those are the choices I gave you. But if you go back and look over time, it's Jeff Bagwell.
Oh, yeah.
Bagwell, Todd Helton, Dick Allen, Ron Say in 1978. Paul LaDuca was a great giant killer. Mike Schmidt, Paul O'Neill, Dale Murphy in 83. Dale Murphy was the best player in baseball in 83.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so that made it, when Muncy went deep the second time, that made it 8-3 Dodgers, and it was pretty much done. Alex Cobb went 3 2/3, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. He threw 77 pitches. LA scored 5 runs in the 6th inning on 1 hit. One hit. And then Ross Stripling came on and gave up a leadoff walk in the 7th, and then Trace Thompson hit a huge 2-run bomb to left to make it 10-3. Stripling just absolutely hung a meatball to Trace Thompson, and he hit it out. I didn't realize Trace had 3 in a game this year. That's his 4th of the year.
You know, he's given up a home run in every outing he's been in. Every game Stripling's pitched this year, he's given up at least 1 home run.
Yeah. Elliot Ramos made a nice running catch to end the 7th. Bryce Johnson, by the way, left this game with a concussion. He made a really nice grab in center field.
That was a wonderful catch.
And then crashed into the center field wall twice in 1 inning. One of those times he was concussed, so we don't know the status of him. He was concussed. Michael Conforto left this game as well. If that wasn't making it any worse, with a calf injury. Tyro Estrada would have hit a solo home run to in the 9th inning to left field, his 2nd of the year. And then the Giants bullpen gave up 5 hits and 8 runs. Sean Jelly, by the way, sent back to AAA before the game.
Saw that one coming.
Yeah, you kind of called that one. I entitled this one, if you were a Giant, if you could make one decision, the owners came to you and you can make one decision. What is your one decision? Danny, do you want to start off the proceedings with your one?
Yeah, I will do that. And Mark Graves,
you can't just bomb the ballpark.
All right. I like the ballpark. And you might want to put up Mark Graves' answer at 10:17 to the poll question: who's the biggest Giants killer?
Let me get down here. What time? 10:17.
10:17.
Graves.
Who's the biggest Giants killer for your poll? Twitter poll. Mark Graves says.
I'm hunting. We got a lot of people in the chat tonight, and I fell behind here. Let me get a couple of these super chats out of the way. Mercedes, BMW, Porsche. I like this team. Larry's heavy sarcasm voice. I like this team. It's a good team. It's a hell of a team. We got this one from Will Martinez. It says, in my opinion, this team looks very different if Bill Newcomb was still running the show. He wanted to put more money on the baseball side, so they ran him out. Yeah. We still got to get down here to Graves. Where's Graves? We're getting 10:16, 10:17. Where's Graves? There it is. What about Farhan as a Giants killer?
Yeah, biggest Giants killer.
That's bad. That is bad. Another one from Glass Half Full guy. The whole point of the season should be to play Ramos, Schmidt, Harrison, and see what they have in terms of potential future core. Oh, believe me, we're getting there. We're getting there. There's no question about it. But I agree with Danny. Dude, you can't block the young players from playing. You know what? Stop protecting yourself. You stop protecting Gabe. Stop protecting yourself. You guys have been in charge long enough. Put young players on the field like all teams do, or contend. Contend with veterans. And if you can't contend with veterans, don't waste our time with space-filling veterans who are going nowhere and will not be anywhere close to this team when they get good. Put whatever young players you have up in the major leagues, and if you lose 100 games, you lose 100 games. No more, let's protect our record in the present over, what's more important for the Giants? Farhan and Gabe protecting their individual record as the general manager and manager, or the Giants developing a core that can someday win the World Series? I'll take the latter every day of the week. Give me Ramos. Give me Casey Schmidt. You know, I mean, um, I would definitely play Villar at first base and move Casey Schmidt to third and play Joey Bart every day. And if
Yes,
you want to call up Bailey, call up Bailey. And play Ramos every day, and maybe call up, ahead of time, call up Matos, and just start going. Call up Vaughn Brown. Start going with the youth. Believe me, the fans will. It's not about the fans. When this series is over and the Giants, Giants are leaving town as well, but this series, the attendance was much lower than you actually think, because there's a lot of Dodger fans there.
right.
There's a lot of people there that are there to see the Dodgers. That next week or 2 weeks from now, when the Giants are back and they're playing the Rockies or whatever other team, they're not going to have those fans there, and it's just going to be a ghost town. So you know what? Don't keep going this stopgap route with the big Darren Ruffs of the world. Go put Elliot Ramos and anybody who you think is going to be a major leaguer within a year. Put them up there. Get them up there. You've got your best coaches, your best instructors, all your major league people. You've got Matos starting to hit well at Double A. Call him up. Casey Schmidt, give him. Who cares? Who cares if these guys go through their bumps and their bruises? I'd rather watch them. I'd rather watch them fail than watch Darren Ruff succeed. I really would. If it really comes right down to it, would you rather lose games with Luis Matos and Joey Bart and Bryce Johnson, or would you rather win games with big Darren Ruff and these kind of stopgap veterans? No, I want to see the kids.
You're talking about winning games. You're talking win every other game. Not
you're not going to. My point is, you're not winning either way.
Yeah.
And so go young.
Yeah,
exactly. And don't try to delude yourself into thinking that you are winning with Darren Ruff. Darren Ruff, you're not winning You're not going to the playoffs with big Darren Ruff. Are you tired of me saying big Darren Ruff?
You really like that one.
I just have that in my head because BA from TBS
big Darren Ruff.
That's big Darren Ruff. It's like absolutely the most annoying thing. You're not going anywhere with Darren Ruff. You're not going anywhere with Wilmer Flores. I mean, I like these guys. I like Wilmer Flores. They're okay to have, but I mean, play your youth. Whatever youth you have. If Danny, do you have the AAA stats? Do you have the AA stats? Do you know what the Giants actually have? If the Giants were forced today to cobble together a team of youth, what would it look like? Obviously, behind the plate, it would be Joey Bart, and Patrick Bailey, right?
Yeah.
And Bailey's a switch hitter, and Bart's a right-handed hitter. Okay, so that's your catcher. Your first base, do they have a young first baseman? Anyway.
They don't right now. Coulter is a guy that's he's actually hitting 361 right now.
Who is?
Coulter? He was in camp a little bit, as a played a few games, I believe, but I don't know much about him.
Brian says, Krug, you lazy. The big Darren Ruff.
Yeah. Coulter's not even listed in their top. Is he in his top 30 prospects? No.
Will Martinez. Not. This is a team. This team is an entire roster of role players, a bunch of Robins, and no Batman. Robin was second in command. I don't know if big Darren Ruff is. Is second in command.
If I'm the
somebody says Sable over Bart. Come on, Sable's already got 2 catcher's interferences in like 2 games. And he's got to be he's a pinch hitter, bench player. Come on, right? I mean, I know you like Sable, Danny, but he's not an everyday catcher.
I wouldn't
play him over Bart. I wouldn't play him.
Yeah, man, I would just play Bart, and if you're going to play Sable, let him play out in left field. He can do the job adequate. I like seeing guys that are still 25 and that have speed.
Okay, so you got Tyro and Crawford up the middle. Okay, do they have another young infielder that's at all decent? I mean, obviously, if you promote Casey Schmidt, you can play him at third. You can move Villar to first. So Bart and Bailey behind the plate, VR at first, Tyro and Crawford up the middle, Schmidt at
I think Will
third
Wilson
base.
might be their, down the road second baseman. He's AAA right now, but he's only batting 135. It's early in the season.
Okay, Will, and then you got Bryce Johnson, who can play center.
I
You
don't
got
think Bryce
Luis
Johnson's
Matos.
he's a great
He's not an
defensive
answer.
player,
He's a,
but he's not an
but
answer.
no, but I mean, I'll say this: put him out there. This is a gigantic ballpark. If I'm a pitcher on the Giants, I want Bryce Johnson in center field every day, every day. I don't want to. No more, because or Luis Matos.
Yeah, Matos would be great in center field.
I want a great center fielder.
Yeah,
so Matos and Johnson.
Center.
You got Ramos in right or left, right?
I'm going to bring up, and Luciano should be up by the end of the year too. If you're going to play this,
maybe he's in left.
Yeah, put Luciano in September,
and then everybody else in right. So that would be what, Wade. Jock is your DH.
You can put Von Brown in right. You can put Von Brown, Matos, and in left field. Who do we talk about?
Go with the kids. You could do it. You could
how
do
about
it. We just did it right there. You got Bryce Johnson and Luis Matos in center. You got Helio Ramos and Luciano in left. You're playing Von Brown with anybody else in right. Schmidt at third. Crawford and Tyro and Will Wilson up the middle. VR at first. Bart and Bailey behind the plate. There you go. Yeah, that team is like a million times more interesting.
Yeah, and Grant McCrae is a guy that is projected to be up
what's
next
his
year.
Position?
He's an outfielder. He's a speedy outfielder.
No, I know he's an outfielder. What center field, right field?
I believe it's center field. Not 100% sure. But he can play all
this
three.
This is what I would do. I would dump Farhan, dump Gabe, hire Ned Coletti, hire Ron Wotus.
Yep.
Make Will Clark the hitting coach. Make Vogie the pitching coach, and go with the youth. That's what I would do.
I mean, if I was the owner,
wait. Joaquin Aguiar says Bailey's out for the year. Is that true?
Really?
Joaquin, we're going to need more data on that. He
just played last night.
Ranger 49 says McCrae can play all three outfield spots.
Yeah. Anybody agree? But he knows his giant. Oh, Paul Perriman.
Snowflake says steal some bases for once. How about Joey Bart? By the way, with the throw out at second base.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was nice.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. It's like you're in a rush to get rid of Joey Bart when a guy catches and throws like that. Oh my God! I mean,
exactly.
Come on, that guy's got an absolute hose, and he gets rid of it very fast. Right. And he's got major bat speed. So if you're going to play somebody else besides Joey Bart at catcher, I'm going to need some explaining. You know what I mean? Somebody's got some explaining to do.
Yeah, Gary Sanchez went 0 for 5 tonight with 3 strikeouts down in Sac.
Okay, here's another guy I want to ask you about. Did you see the video from the Giants prospects Twitter post or Twitter account? Do you follow the Giants prospects Twitter account?
Yeah.
Did you see the Giants have a righty named Murphy?
Oh yeah, Ryan Murphy.
What level is he at? His stuff was awesome. I retweeted him striking somebody out. His stuff looked overpowering, Dan.
He's either in Richmond.
So that's double?
He's in
double A?
I think
he looks good. That guy looks like he's good.
Yeah,
Steve Michaels says, Larry, you make too much sense. Well, no, I mean, let's just talk about it. Okay, let's get this out in the open. Are the Giants going to win? No, they're not. All right? Okay, now we got that out of the way. So then now if you're going to lose, would you rather lose with some young kids or lose with retreads and other teams' cast-offs? I'd rather go with the kids. And I don't think I would go with Gabe and Farhan. I think I would switch it up and try to have more fun. It's everybody's tight as a drum. Guys are in the dugout punching things and everybody's tight. You got guys coming, you got guys going. The vibe sucks. The fans sense the vibe sucks. Today I did an interview with Alex Wood with Mark Willard on 95.7 The Game. Yeah, and I said to him, "How'd you feel when Farhan walked out to the mound and yanked you at 4 2/3, and he said,
You mean Gabe, when Gabe yanked him?
yeah, what if Farhan walked out there? That would be really something. Now that would be awesome. Farhan out there in a shirt, and he's got a cell phone. He's like motioning down to somebody. That would be sweet. And civvies.
We are the lollipop kids, the lollipop kids.
Dude, I just got pulled out of the game by Farhan. No, that would be awesome. It would lead on Sports Center. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Some guy with jeans on out there on the mound. Making a cell phone call. No, what I would do.
What did Wood say?
So Wood said, he's like, hey, first of all, interestingly enough, when he's talked about it, he said that he thought he deserved the right to face the catcher, Will Smith. And then instead of, he never said Gabe, he never said Kapler, he never said he said they. He's like, well, I wanted to stay in there. Blah blah blah. I felt like I deserved to face Will Smith, but obviously they feel differently. They, the proverbial they.
Wow.
Who's managed by they? Whose manager is they? That should be Kapler should take Kapler off the back of his jersey and put they on the back.
maybe he's referring to just the Giants in general.
He's basically referencing that it's not really Kapler's call, that it's this organizational from above mandate through Farhan. I think he intentionally did not say Gabe or he or Kapler. He said they.
Imagine
that's what they did. That's what they wanted to do. They can do what they want to do.
Imagine
I forget exactly how he phrased it, but he said they twice.
Imagine he comes off the field. He says, like, why didn't I stay in? Well, you'll have to ask the guys upstairs because I was given orders.
That would be awesome if you saw Wood pissed at Gabe and he just instead he like leans out and he looks up at the mezzanine level and he's like, it's that guy. I didn't take you out. That guy took you out.
And it wasn't even that guy.
It was actually Pete Petulia who took you out. It wasn't even
that guy. It was their underlings who put it into the computer system and said it was time for you to come out.
That would be awesome if Gabe brought a computer to the mound and he just like instead of telling him he comes out, he just points to the computer. Look, see,
look at
you
my
got
pad.
it. You're out.
You're
out.
See, too many pitches.
Yeah, I wanted to keep you in, but the data shows you need to be out.
Just. I saw his face last night.
Michael Michio, does Ned still have contacts within the Giants organization? Oh, yeah. Is there mutual? I think is there mutual interest?
Who knows what the Giants are thinking?
You don't know. I don't know. And
I'm just here's my biggest gripe of the season so far is when Greg Johnson said, Farhan, we have a club option for a 6-year and we're going to exercise it. And we want to even do more than that. We're hoping we can come to a multi-year agreement because we think he's the guy. Really? Greg? Really, Greg? I'm looking at you right now, Greg, if you're watching. Who would do that in any kind of business? You
just had the worst off season in the history of GMing.
Yeah.
And you're I mean, seriously, what would be worse? If there's a fire in the club level? I mean, what exactly are you looking for? I mean you called a press conference to announce, you teased your fans like, I mean, seriously, Carol Dota did less teasing than the Giants did of their fans. I mean, my God. How bad can you tease your fans? They got their fans all hot and bothered. Ooh,
yeah.
You know what we're gonna have? We're gonna have bright, shiny objects. Did I say bright and shiny objects? I meant used and beat up objects. I mean, now Conforto's hurt. Haniger's yet to play.
Yeah, I don't understand why you have already committed to him for next year when this year has the potential to be a giant, complete disaster.
I mean, that should be the new slogan. Giant disaster. News at 11. Kevin Stevens, I'd like to lose with the kids.
Yeah.
Peter Zimmer, lose with the kids. Maybe. Why don't we start our own slogan, Danny? Let's start our own Giants slogan. Giants baseball. Let's lose with the kids.
Is he
Seriously.
afraid to bring up? I mean, to me, if he says, "Okay, we're bringing up all the kids that I have drafted," I think ownership would say, "Okay, you got 3 more years to see what they do, and if they don't produce, at least you're buying yourself some." But no, they've already given him his 6th year, and so and Gabe's extended through. They extended him after 21 through 24. So you've got next year Farhan and Gabe back, and I'm sure the PR department's already working on next year's slogan. Let's see, somebody in the chat.
And Gabe's already at it too with the backfires. Now he's complaining about how the Latin players are getting like it's now something bad for the Latin players.
Oh yeah, because they can't understand with the pitch clock. Oh, and tonight's
it's hurting the Latin players.
Do you know why they lead the league in strikeouts, Larry?
Why?
Because they're not calling a timeout enough. The hitters.
Oh, ridiculous.
That's it.
Brian says Wotus, Coletti running the show. Will Clark is a bench coach. Get the rookies playing some ball. Kapler and Zaidi out.
Make sure you call timeout. That will guarantee you will not strike out.
Yeah, if you want to relate with the kids, maybe just go with that as your motto. Farhan Zaidi. Farhan and Gabe out. We're out.
Somebody's got to come up. We got to have a contest.
We get this one. Mercedes, BMW, Porsche. Farhan and Kapler need to fight. Fight what? Fight what?
We need
but
to
I mean,
do
we're
contest,
already seeing
Larry.
backfires and all. I can only imagine the other thing, the non-stories that are going to come up this year to try to take pressure off of the actual what's happening on the field, because I think that's going to be.
And
we're going to need distractions. We're going to need distractions. This
and
year.
don't even go there with the Ohtani talk coming up next. It ain't going to happen.
No, please.
It's not going to happen.
Anybody with the Giants who even says Ohtani should get like somehow like buzzed, like somehow zapped. You should be able to zap them if they
Farhan
say
get under
Ohtani.
such great pressure. He trades Harrison, Matos, Luciano, Schmidt, Von Brown for Ohtani for 3 months, and Ohtani won.
MF says Farhan will sprint back to the dugout faster than Gabe. That would be fun, like a 7th inning Gabe versus Farhan sprint.
Instead of putting those little the pickle and the hot dog and all that out there where they have 3 guys that race with a brewer, put Farhan, Gabe, and Nacken. And let's see, listen, Nacken. Have a 3-way race.
You should have the Giants should have a contest. Who will be their final season ticket holder?
Yeah.
Who's the last person to give up their season tickets? Mark Graves. Gabe had a note in his hand when he went to the mound. Told Wood Farhan wants you out. LOL.
Hey, I think you should do a contest. You got your Twitter 34,000 followers. Giants slogan this year for 23 is nothing like it. Who can come up with something better? And then just see what comes. I mean, nothing like it. There is nothing like it. I mean,
no, I think it was misspelled. It was called Nothing to Like About It. I like this. I like that slogan. Nothing to like about it.
Oh
man, it's bad. Val Ramos, how about winning with the kids? No, I mean, I think the message has got to be a stronger message. It's got to be, I'd like to lose with the kids. I'd rather lose. To me, this year will be a better year for the Giants if they go with Villar, Will Wilson, Casey Schmidt, Barton Bailey, Ramos, Matos, Von Brown,
let's see it.
Go young. Everybody who's 29 or older, who, all these Jock Peterson guys, they're all available. You want these guys at the deadline, they're all available. You want Conforto, you can have them. You want any of these older guys, we'll move them. It's all about going with the youth, and I would go with the youth. Go with the youth.
Yeah.
You got a way better chance to run with the Diamondbacks in a year from now, or run with the Dodgers and Padres 3 years from now if you somehow discover core players.
Plus, Wotus was AAA manager when they were in Phoenix with the Giants. He was in Shreveport. He's done
a ton of developmental gigs.
Yeah, he's done that, and everybody respects him. He relates well. He's, That's another reason they were good in 21. He was on the bench. He was there, him and Posey. Soon as he
Yeah.
left and soon as Posey left, the Giants, it was like, okay, the only thing left now is Belt and Crawford in 22, and now it's just Crawford. And, Crawford's
I
been a
have a
great
question
Giant.
here in the private chat. It says, can you unblock senior softball games? He's asked a few times. He wants to put comments in the chat.
I put that up there for you, yeah.
Senior softball games. Maybe what happened? He got drunk and started running his mouth. What happened? Senior softball games.
I have no idea.
Why did you get blocked? You probably
put
nobody gets
it in the
blocked
chat.
for a reason.
He can't put it in the chat because it won't
It's killing him.
go. What did he say? Maybe Romo knows, and if Romo's listening, he could text me because
I'd like to know what he probably knows what he said that got him banned. If he can come clean and say, you know what, I was wrong. I said this. I shouldn't have. I'll let him back in the pool. I'll let him back in. But I've put a word out to Len and to my son to try to work the back channels to get him back in. I don't really know exactly how to do it. I can kick you out of the club. I just can't bring you back in. So I'm gonna have to get somebody else to bring you back in. But all I got to say to those senior softball games is, come on now, let's not get drunk and run our mouth. Start talking big game, talking big smack. You piss off the host, you get the horns, and then you wind up out, and then all of a sudden you're sitting on the outside in going, damn, I want to be in there. They're having a good time. You're outside the club, and we're all dancing. We're having
James
a good
Foster
time.
Says
We're having a good time. We got the Gap band going. We got some drinks going. Everybody's having a good time. We're talking Giants. You're peering through the glass. I want to get in there. Damn it. I see Dan. I thought I saw Ryan there. I see Krug. Can I get in there? What happened? I ran my damn mouth and I got kicked out of the club. Senior softball games, I'll bring you back, but I can't bring you back, but I'll have you brought back.
Was it something to do with Light the Beam?
No, I wouldn't. Come on. You think I'm that sensitive?
I don't know.
Yeah, he said light the beam, and I'm like, out of here. That is it. Get him out of here. Get him out. Jeff Cal? Is that Jeff Cal 69? He says, let's go Giants. Hang in there. Circa 1985. Let's go Giants. Where they hang. God, let's not bring anything really bad in there. Krug Show says he's unblocked. Senior softball games is back in the pool. Look at that.
Who did that?
That's Len did that. Look at that. Look at that. Senior softball games.
Go ahead, senior softball games. Put a comment in now.
Chat away, senior. You're
Maybe
back,
he'll say-
baby. You're back.
Maybe he'll say thank you.
You're back. All I got to say to this, your next chat better be fucking glorious.
There he is. I'm free. Look, he just put it in there.
Where?
The bottom.
Wait, James Foster said, am I blocked? Are you blocked? I don't think you're blocked. You're in. Let's see. Where's senior softball games? Where is he? There he is. I'm free. He's a free man. Senior softball games, ladies and gentlemen. He's back. All right.
Yeah, he's been on my channel a couple times, and he was asking.
You haven't blocked him?
I haven't blocked him. I don't know what senior softball. Do you know why you got blocked, or any reason that you think you might have got blocked?
Yeah, exactly. Come clean. I just put the phone call chat in there, so if anybody wants to call in tonight, we will take video calls. I think I want to bring back the video calls because
I've been doing them. They're kind of fun.
Yeah, the video calls are a lot of fun. So anybody who wants to jump in video call wise, we got plenty of time for that. And also we have our New York style Italian sausage contest going on this month and next month. And I'm going to put that on the board. Yes, if whoever the best video call is on the New York style Italian sausage line,
we'll get video call.
We'll get a chance. There we go. There are the rules. Krug Show competition. Let me get that chat off the board there so we can read it. says the Krug Show competition rules. Join the Krug Phone Show, and talk sports. The best caller from each Krug Phone show will qualify for the championship. The championship winner will win the grand prize presented by New York Style Sausage Company all throughout April and May, and it only applies to our video callers. So if you're a video caller and at the end of the show we say, you know what, that was the best video caller of the night, that will automatically qualify you for a chance to win the grand prize, and which is lunch for two at the New York Style Italian Sausage Factory, or if you can't make it out to California, a gigantic box of sausage.
Ooh.
I know. It's a very, very good prize. So check that out and join us on the video line. But yeah, I mean, that's what I want to see. I want to see Val Ramos mess with the bull, you get the horns. That's what I want to see. I just want to see some youth. I don't care if the Giants win. I don't believe they're going to win either way. So I just want to see. I just want to see the young guys. And you know what? I don't know if it's if you want to call it being provincial or whatnot. But to me, I would rather see 5 or 6 guys come up out of the minor leagues this year and have some level of success than going with the Darren Ruffs. And I mean, Darren Ruff's a positive. We're 2-3 weeks away from Farhan picking up all kinds of guys nobody's ever heard of. I mean, you got to remember Jason Vosler, Dixon Machado. Those guys are all coming too at some point.
Vosler got off to a good start with Cincinnati this year. I think he hit like 2 or 3 home runs, or a home run the first 3 games.
But I don't want to see a parade of 4A stuff. I want to see guys that you drafted, developed, invested high picks in, like Ramos, like Matos, like Will Wilson, like Vaughn Brown, like VR, like Casey Schmidt, like Joey Bart, like Patrick Bailey, and others. I'd rather see that and trade some of these veteran players as the season goes on for more youth and just keep going young. The Giants fans will support the product if they see some momentum in this area. They're not going to what they aren't going to support. They're not going to support a losing team of nameless, faceless minor league and 4A castoffs from other organizations that are just here today, gone tomorrow. Give us something to invest in. At least if you went this route, you call up Matos, you call up you have Ramos up, you go with Bart, you go with Bailey, you go with Casey Schmidt at third, you go with VR at first for the year. Maybe you make a trade, add something to the mix. I think that there's a high likelihood that you're going to benefit by the end of the year. The fans are going to invest a little bit in some of these young players they like. You're going to see Casey Schmidt jerseys. You're going to see Matos jerseys. People are going to still come out to see Giants baseball all summer long. They may not come out in droves, but they will come out if they feel like the message is, hey, it's a young building team where, tomorrow's more important than today. But stop with this delusional crap of just veteran plug-in trying desperately to get to 500 as you develop nobody and just keep piecemealing and then send Joey Bart elsewhere to fulfill his potential and start trading off guys left and right. I don't know if I trust their evaluation skills to trade off some of these young players. And I'd rather just see them try to see what these guys have. I want to see Casey Schmidt every day. I want to see Luis Matos every day. I want to see Joey Bart and Patrick Bailey every day. I don't want to see Austin Wynns. I don't want to see Yankee castoffs or 32-year-old Darren Ruff. I want to see some athletes. McRae had a beautiful triple in spring training. He obviously runs really, really well, Danny. He would be a nice guy to have up here. I mean, are you telling me if they brought him up, he would just totally fall on his face and hit 089 and be shipped back off? If that's the case, guess what? No harm, no foul. You give these guys an opportunity. If they don't, you can believe me. There's always going to be some 4A player cast aside by another organization that you can give an opportunity to. There's always going to be some, so you can go back to that plan if this plan doesn't work. But going with this plan, at least you got a chance that you may discover I mean, if you go this direction and all of a sudden Matos has a big year, or Casey Schmidt looks great at third, or Patrick Bailey becomes a 280 hitter, whatever. I think there's a lot of Giants fans that would be like, you know what? I'm cool with this. We won our 3 World Series. We got a beautiful ballpark. We got some young players coming through the system. Are we there yet? No, but we'll get there eventually. And they're homegrown players. And I just bought my kid a Casey Schmidt jersey. And you know what? It's called building. Other teams do it. The Cubs rebuilt. The Astros rebuilt.
Yep.
Why? Where's the Giants' birthright to never rebuild? And right now they're not. They're not rebuilding. They're reluctantly tearing out their old cabinets and old countertops. It's like, stop being so goddamn reluctant. Let those cabinets go. The tile needs to be changed. Say goodbye to the Formica. It's time for granite, baby. It's time to upgrade. You know, get rid of the damn lamp and let's put some recessed lighting in. Let's get this thing updated.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, totally.
Niner Empire. Larry, good. What does it say? Good Crake?
Good. Something with it. Willard on that.
Good Crake with Willard on 95.7 today. Are you on again tomorrow? Yep, I'm on 95.7 all week. And we're going to have Ron Wotus on tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. And Wotus, Wotus is a great guy and obviously knows a ton about baseball, about the Giants, about the minor leagues, and he'll be a great guy to get his perspective on their start. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I believe Tim Legler is going to be joining us as well. Steve Kerr, I believe, stops by tomorrow. So check us out 2 to 6 tomorrow on 95.7 The Game. Myself and Mark Willard. I'm sitting in for dibs all week on 95.7 The Game. So yes. We had a lot of fun today. It was really, really a good show, I thought, and Alex Wood was very candid. I mean, I asked him, "Did you want to be taken out of the game?" And I guess you could say the obvious answer is nobody ever wants to be taken out of the game, and he kind of said that, but he just said that he felt like he deserved the chance to go, face one more batter. You'd only give up one hit. I was mentioning to Willard, Danny, that I kind of look at. A 5 reliever shutout. I mean, you had to go with 5 relievers in a shutout. In a way, it's a good story, but in a way, it's like, when you go to 5 relievers, and I was saying, comparing it to like, you and I bet football games during football season. What would you rather have a ticket on? A 2-team parlay or a 5-team parlay? Or a 2-team parlay or a 6-team parlay?
Right.
If I told you're much more likely to hit the 2-team parlay. Well, every time you go to a reliever, there's a 50-50 chance that guy doesn't have it. So if you got Alex Wood and he's gone 1 hit and he's in the 5th, you may want to let him go. I mean, to try to nurse your way through 5 relievers a night and hope every night that every reliever has it. I don't know, man. I mean, I just think that's low percentage. I'd like to see them go a little longer. I understand their analytics say 3rd time through the lineup, Alex Wood gets hit. He's got to come out. But he's given up 1 hit. 1 hit. Let's let these guys qualify for victories and let them get through 5. And if somebody hits one up the gap, guess what? Then you can take them out. You got the bottom of the 5th, bottom of the 6th, bottom of the 7th, bottom of the 8th, bottom of the 9th. You got over half the game left to get back in it. But this idea that you were going to win 2-0, and now it worked out. They got some late runs. They won 5-0. But to me, it's like, let's ride the hot hand a little bit more instead of living and dying by these numbers that tell you that he's going to get hit. He's going to get hit. Can we see it before? It's like. When you leave your house, do you put on a raincoat and take out your umbrella when it's not raining? No. So why are you taking out pitchers that have given up 1 hit and they're not even worked through 5 innings? So I don't know. That's my thought on that.
I just put a little comment in there. Maybe throw out that link in one more time, because if people, they might have to dig through it to find it. So
here we go.
Yeah, if you guys the link's going to be coming up right now. So if you want to join in on a live call-in, look in the chat, and it'll appear under MF's comment. There it is. Okay, the Krug Show. So if you guys want to come in and do for that contest. Remember, best caller of each show, right, gets put into the
qualifies for the grand prize.
Yeah. So
whoever the best caller of the night is tonight is going to be a qualifier in the for the grand prize at the end of May.
End of May or April?
End of May. It's going to go all of April and all of May.
Okay, so there you go, man.
So we got a couple months to
more
qualify.
Times you call, the more times it's like, hey, you throwing in, you could be the Victor Wimbiana or whatever. You could get the
lottery.
Yeah,
you get the lottery.
You get more ping pong balls or whatever they put in there.
95.7 Brian says Farhan doesn't take risks or chances with bringing up young players because he's afraid to look incompetent after drafting these guys if they fail. I think you're right. That's why he won't win a title with the Giants. Sad. I think 95.7 Brian is one of our better texters. I think he's absolutely right on that.
Yeah.
If you start calling up Patrick Bailey and he falls on his face, people point at you.
Right.
And so there's something, you're invested a little bit more. But I'd like to see, he's been doing it for 5 years. It might be time to promote some of those players from the minor leagues. MF says Papirski for Dubon was an awful trade. Dubon was a awful base runner, maybe the worst base runner in Giants history. He seriously was a horrible base runner. Do we need to remind ourselves how bad? Now Dubon was a good hitter and versatile and athletic, but yeah, for Papirski, would you even recognize Papirski if he walked in the door right now? I wouldn't. By the way, everybody needs to turn to NBC Sports Bay Area right now. After the Giants game, they have this Giants talk, and they have this episode that has Alex Pavlovich, Laura Britt, and Cap at a restaurant in Phoenix, and they're about to talk about food and how Gabe Kapler ranks up, how he rates on a scale on a 20/80 scale the pork chop that he's going to eat at this restaurant. How would you rate that pork chop? I give it a 65.
65. Oh man.
Lots of questions about his dietary philosophies and can we talk about your team? I'm sorry. I don't really give a damn what you think of the pork chop. Okay, I want to talk about your team. Oh my God, Bomber T. I'm tired of remodels. Yeah. What can I say?
I just think, hey,
wait a second. Niner Empire says crake. It's an Irish term.
What's it mean?
It means groovy, I think. Here we go.
Oh.
Len says that's Irish. It means groovy.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's listening to my groovy show.
Shake your groove thing. Shake your groove. Okay. So here, the Warriors, Mark Jackson, he did a pretty good job with the Warriors. He took them out of, obscurity, got them to the playoffs, and just wasn't able to get them, over the hump. They bring in Kerr. Maybe Farhan, the guys he's drafted and developed, maybe they're not ready, but maybe somebody else comes in and they actually turn these guys around and, Farhan gets some credit later on, but I don't think he's the guy to do it right now because he's not even bringing these guys up. He's making them, knock the door down at AAA. Well, while his guys up on their team are not knocking any doors down, they're getting the door slammed in their face. So I don't get it. Like he comes out with, if Joey Bart if he has a repeat of last year, we may have to, look elsewhere. All the while, he's bringing Darren Ruff back, who failed in New York, didn't get one home run the whole second half after the All-Star break, hit under like 1 something. And also, he continued with the same thing with Yaz, and he's continuing with Wade. And this is nothing personal against any of these guys. I think all of them are great guys, but they're not guys. You can't even play Wade every day. You can't play Wade every day. They refuse to let him hit off of a left-handed pitcher. And
he's a platoon player.
And pretty much so is Jock Peterson. The whole team is made up of platoon guys. The only guy they're playing so far for the year is
Tyro?
Conforto and Tyro, I guess, and Crawford for the most part. But they rested him today. But you don't have it. If you're a platoon player, how could you be that good? Really? What
Well, I
all-star
mean,
is a platooner? I mean, Jock was last year, but that's because they had nobody else.
this is kind of a more modern baseball type thing. I mean, heck, Earl Weaver played John Lowenstein, Benny Ayala, and Gary Renicky in a 3-man platoon in left field for the '83 Orioles, I believe, and they won the World Series.
Yeah, but they had 5 or 6 other guys that played every day.
Yeah, they had a guy named Cal Ripken, and they had Eddie Murray, and they had Doug DeCinces, and they had
Right.
they had a bunch of guys, Rick Dempsey behind the plate, and Lou Ford, and all these guys. BSN News says, someone call in. It's your moment to be famous on the Krug Show on a Wednesday night. LOL. Eddie F says, Lauren, I think her name's Laura. Laura Britt is pretty, but I'd much rather listen to guys talk baseball. Yeah, well, you know what? That's on you. You think she's prettier than Dan and I? I mean, come on now.
She's pretty.
But she's no Dan Coachemilio when it comes to this.
Yeah, look at that. Huh?
Dan's damn pretty. Speaking of pretty, is that dog on the couch over there? Do I see the dog in the back?
Yeah, the dog's on the. Oh, he moved.
Oh,
He's down there.
I saw his head.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Buster boy.
There he is.
Hey, you're on the show, Buster.
Buster
Buster
boy,
boy,
is
wag your
talking
tail.
about. Look at Buster. Buster's like, hey, it's my time. Oh, there's Faith just out of nowhere.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Look at that.
Yeah,
let's see Buster. Let's see Faith. How are they feeling about the Giants in the early season?
What do you think, Buster? Sit. Giants going to win this year? They going to win it all? If not, sit.
That's a great face. Buster's like,
hey, Faith.
I'm being told what to do. Look at that.
There's these guys. So, yeah.
Oh well, man.
So next
we got this one
weeks,
from Alan Wiley. Larry, when does Pavlovich make his Krug Show debut? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Pavs would dig us. I'm not. I'm not sure if he would want to be hanging with us. But we'll see. We'll go out to the yard later this year, and we'll ask Pavs. What do you think? NBC Sports Bay Area. Let's talk pork chops. Danny and I can talk chops. We'll talk pork chops over here. MF says, this is my favorite Krug show, post-game Giants. Yeah, MF just loves salt. He loves salty Krug and salty Dan. That's what he loves.
This is where the Krug show launched last year, was just pure comedy.
Salt.
It was comedy hour. I had last year, I did pull up a greatest hits. I had the Giants, and I put a big giant fork in them after one game. I just stabbed that crap out of it. They put a fork in them. They're done. It was funny because over on my channel tonight, I said, they're 5-7. It's early, but they're not going anywhere. And Robert Rothberg was in there. He says, you can't throw in the towel. You can't throw in the towel. It's early. And Mark Graves answered, we're throwing the towels over our faces, over our heads.
Mark Hope says, what's up, Larry? None of your followers are talking 49er quarterbacks? I think he says Anna talk, but I think he meant are talking. I did see Jake Hainer was in Santa Clara today, and how about this? The 49ers worked out DTR.
Really?
Yeah, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. And they met with him at the Senior Bowl. Now, nobody wants to hear this, so I'll say it quietly. But what's that about? Okay, so you have Brock Purdy. You just signed Sam Darnold. You have Trey Lance. Somebody suggested they may trade Trey Lance. I don't know who that was. They say they're maybe keeping maybe only 2 quarterbacks, but now they've had their second meeting with Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Danny, I'll stay with it. I said it at the time. I said it sounds like the Giants the Giants. The Niners are getting ready to trade Trey. I really believe that.
You think it's a draft day trade still, huh?
Yes, I told everybody that you know what? The third quarterback they bring in will give us a real indication of what their plans are. They go bring in Sam Darnold on the first day of free agency and give him a pretty nice contract, and then Shanahan talked him up. Darnold's going to be here for sure. I think there's no doubt. And then Purdy, if he's healthy, is going to be here for sure. And now they're working out Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I think it's pretty obvious what's going to happen here. They're gonna use one of those third or fourth round picks on. They don't have a fourth right now, but third. They've got 3 threes and 2 5s. They're going to use one of those threes or trade back from one of those threes and take DTR. I can see it, and then they're going to trade Trey, and probably for a pick.
Do you think they might pick up 2? Say draft a quarterback and then maybe someone one of their late picks in the 6th or 7th, and have one that makes the team as the third quarterback and one that is on the practice squad? You think they would try to?
No, I think they're going to keep 2 quarterbacks on the roster and 1 on the practice squad, and that 1 on the practice squad is going to be DTR.
Are they changing the rule to?
Or it's going to be a rookie, I should say. I don't know if it'll be DTR.
Are they going to allow the 50? On the roster game day,
we don't know
the third quarterback.
Yeah, but that's still that they're going to debate it in May.
I mean, that shouldn't even be a debate. I mean, it ruins.
Well, they discussed it, but then they tabled it for the owners' meetings in May. So we're going to have a better idea in May, which seems like kind of unfair. You're going to have the draft before you tell us the rules to the game. You know what I mean? Doesn't that seem kind of like maybe you might want to get an extra quarterback? We might let you have one, but we're not going to tell you till later. Well, that's not going to help me. How do I plan if you're not going to tell me till later? We got this one from Eddie. He says, "Nah, Larry, I would not watch an episode if Pavlovich is on. Hell no, LOL." Look at that. Alex Barbado, Pavs and bags are so boring, LOL. Look at that. Now we got drive-bys on Pavs and poor bags. Ben says Pavlovich is just an organizational guy. He'll never criticize them. Then if he doesn't want to criticize them, then he can't come on, because this is a critical arena. And it's not critical because I'm crapping on them because I hate them. I'm being critical because I'm one of you. And I'm a real Giants fan, and I'm not going to just sit here and just say I'm not going to sit here and clap like a trained seal. It's great. They're great. It's terrific. It's
nothing
awesome.
like it.
It's nothing like it. They'll get them tomorrow. Heck, blah, 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 blah. No. I mean, come on. Seriously. This is my whole philosophy on this. You can assume people are smart, or you can assume people are dumb. And anybody who's listened to me on the radio for any number of years knows I like to assume the audience is smart. I like to assume the audience kind of has an opinion about guys in the draft or guys in free agency or what their team should do. And I don't just sit there and be like, you know what? Go get them, Giants. I don't do Tony the Tiger radio. They're great. Remember Tony the Tiger with the Frosted Flakes?
Frosted Flakes, man.
They're great.
I used to eat those all the time.
Best cereal of all time, Danny. What would you say?
Ooh, best cereal of all time.
See, to me, it's no doubt, and it's more of a modern cereal, but I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I was going to go with Sugar Smacks.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is like, I thought Golden Grahams were good.
Yeah. Do you remember Sugar Smacks?
Yeah, I remember Sugar Smacks. I remember.
But Cinnamon Toast Crunch is, my son, I could get that for him for Christmas, and he'd love it. It'd be just a big box of cinnamon. That Cinnamon Toast Crunch is awesome.
We got this one. Kyle McKiernan, 12 more games until Larry's throwing 7.5 ounces of Coca-Colas at his studio walls. There we go. That tells me.
Hey, all right. I took a thing at the beginning of the season, in the off season. I looked at their schedule, saw the first 31 games were pretty crucial because they've still got 4-game series with the Mets and Cardinals at home, and on the road they still have 2 in Mexico City with the Padres and 3 in Houston. So that's 8 plus that's 13 games. They played 12. So 6 of the games they've got, the other 6 are Detroit and Miami. So after 31 games, the question was, if the Giants are sitting, like 15 and 16, 16 and 15, maybe they have a shot of later on when the schedule gets a little bit easier. But I kind of thought coming out of the season, and I looked at the schedule, I said, they look like a 12 and 19 start to me. out of the
They're going to
31.
lose 2 out of 3. They're going to find a way to win one game a series. They're going to win one game a series. They're going to lose 2 out of 3. They're going to win about 33% of their games, which is how many wins?
Oh, they got it. I think they got to win at least 40% of their games. But let's see, 33%. That would only be 60 wins.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're for sure going to win. They're going to win for sure about 60 wins. After that, every other win is just like, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's not a horrendous team, but they're just not going to get on any kind of streaks. Brian Iglesias, here's a good one, Danny. To get into the game and strategy tonight, why the hell did Kapler not walk Max Muncy before he hit his second bomb of the game with a base open? The guy was hitting 571 before his 3-run bomb. Come on, man. No, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. I mean, seriously, when are you going to start pitching around Max Muncy? I mean, seriously, how many times are you going to serve up Max Muncy good pitches? Especially, is that indeed the case? I was walking in and out of the room at that point. There was first base was open.
Yeah, it was the second and third 3-run bomb.
So what are you doing? What are you doing, Cap? Why aren't you walking Muncy? He's got ownage on you. He's absolutely crushing in your ballpark, and you've got first base open and you don't walk him. Why?
Yeah. So
Let's talk pork chops. I'll give that pork chop a 65. Great. Jace is Stripling, DeSclafani, Wood, Rogers, Conforto, Haniger, over 30 with big money contracts to players who suck or are hurt. And Conforto got a 1 year out, right? Did anybody else get a 1 year out? Who else got a 1 year out?
Manaya and Stripling. So they're back. If Stripling has an awful year, he's back.
What do you mean if? He's on his way to it. How many home runs has he given up?
He's given up now 6. Let's see. He gave up 3 in the Yankees, 2 against Kansas City in that game. So that's 5. Tonight, 6. 6 home runs already in probably about 9 innings pitched.
Wow.
Hey, Buster, what are you doing on that couch?
Buster. What's that sound that you use that always makes him get off there? You said something and you kind of went like you snapped. I think you snapped a finger.
Hey. Get.
Oh, it worked. Look at that.
Didn't even look at him. Hey, he comes over here. Hi, buddy.
Hey. Get down off there.
I've gone 2 weeks. I come home. The guy's taken over the whole property.
Oh,
he's like
probably had friends over.
He probably did. Well, he had some young lady that took care of the place, and she probably was real nice.
Just let him do whatever. Yeah, let him do whatever he wanted.
She loves dogs, and he probably sucked up.
Right now, he's there pretending to love you, but he actually misses her.
Yeah. Exactly.
Alex Barbados' best writer is Marcus Thompson, and it's not close. Marcus is my man. He's very, very good.
Marcus with the Athletic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
He's good. He's very good.
Yeah.
Senior softball games is back in the pool. He says Giants fans need to bring back the paper bags over their heads. That's why we brought him back, ladies and gentlemen.
Somebody said we should go with the 86 slogan of the Giants. How about what was it? How about them kids?
How about them kids?
Yeah.
How about them kids?
Yeah.
The slogan for this year should be "Where the fuck are these kids?" That would be an awesome slogan, wouldn't it? Giants baseball. Where the fuck are these kids? Matt Wright, the excuse I heard yesterday on the Giants flagship station was that the players, pitchers specifically, are rusty. Did this team not play spring training? Next, they'll blame Carl the Fog. Who's Carl the Fog? I think you mean you talking about
Frog?
Rusty the mechanical jerk? The guy from Old Navy that they had out there. Do you remember the Rusty from Old Navy who was originally supposed to be part of the ballpark? It was like a mechanical Old
Oh
Navy
yeah,
advertisement.
yeah,
I think it
yeah,
was so bad. I
yeah.
remember I saw that the first day. I was like, "What the hell's that? They got to get rid of that." Somebody came out obviously and was like, "Oh no, get rid of that."
My
Get rid of
favorite
that thing.
though, my favorite so far of Cap's sayings was the reason the strikeouts are so high is because we're not utilizing the timeout. It's like, okay, so you get 2 strikes on you. Timeout. Hey, timeout. I'm not missing this next one because I call the timeout.
Call a timeout. Maybe we'll have Chris Webber throw out the first pitch. Timeout. Giants baseball. Timeout.
Oh my goodness.
What about Taylor Rogers today not throwing a pitch for ball 4?
Oh yeah, 3-2 count. Yeah.
3-2 count. 3-2 count. Couldn't get it done. And then the ump comes out and he does one of these like it's like the ump's like your mom, like in summertime when she wanted you to come to dinner. She's like pointing to her watch. That's what the ump did. He came out and he's like,
yeah,
time. First base.
Where you do miss
that's so cheese ball, by the way. That's so. I asked Alex Wood about that too. I'm like, time in baseball. I like speeding up the game, Alex. But to me, baseball's about pace, and I don't like the artificial hurry up pace of the clock in the late innings. And he kind of agreed. So,
yeah, I think the
I'd loosen it up in the.
You had a super ticket back from Mark Hope earlier, $5. Go back and then you just put another one up for 20.
Okay, I'll get it here. Yachty says this is the best type of Krueger show, the salty post game Giant show. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, 11:09 was the first.
Nobody
one.
does salt like we do. Okay, wait a second. Yeah. You know what? I'm so behind in the chat.
At 11:09, he put a super sticker in there.
I'm not chatting like I should be. Oh, here we go. Mark Hope, super sticker. Thank you, Mark. You're the man.
He just put up another one too for 20.
Super sticker? More super sticker? We got a lot of people talking cereal here. Frosted Flakes, Larry going Tony the Tiger.
Lucky Charms were pretty good. I like those little marshmallows.
Lucky Charms. The commercial was good. Oh, corn
magically
pops.
delicious.
Corn pops suck. This guy's a corn pop. Apple Jacks. Apple Jacks weren't bad. You know what was a damn good cereal as a 70s sugar cereal? Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops were good. Yeah, Trix weren't too bad.
I mean, who doesn't like Fruit Loops? I mean, seriously. When we used to go on vacation, we'd have the vacation. We had those little boxes of cereal.
Yeah, the little boxes, Kellogg's.
I mean, we'd fight. We'd fight for the Fruit Loops.
Yeah, the Fruit Loops.
Somebody had corn pops. I mean,
remember all those commercials? They don't even have those commercials anymore.
They're magically delicious.
Yeah, they're magically delicious. Yeah, and then there was
there used to be a lot of great commercials back in the day. What? What?
They're great.
Oh, yeah, that's the Tony the Tiger.
Tony the Tiger. Yeah.
Brian Iglesias says I'm more of a Reese's Puffs guy. The peanut butter cereal though, that's kind of.
I actually love peanut butter cereal.
Chardall's going Honey Nut Cheerios. I was interviewing Brandon Ayuk earlier this year, and I walked up to him. My first question as I see him in the locker room, as he's walking by me, I looked down at his cereal bowl, and I said to him, "Hey, Brandon." He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Honey Nut or regular?" And he goes, Honey Nut. And I'm kind of serious. I'm like, on that note, can we do an interview with you? He's like, sure. So then he had to move aside his Honey Nut Cheerios.
I think of my other favorite cereals that
Sugar Smacks. Val Ramos says Sugar Smacks are fire, Dan.
Sugar Smacks, yeah, they're really good.
Here's a good question, Los D. When are you going to drill Max Muncy with a fastball? # soft.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
At least throw one inside and high and tight, kind of have it look like you're trying to push him back a little.
Isaac Churchill, Larry, what do we got to do to get Stewie Fairchild back on the squad? Remember Stewie?
Yeah. What do you think happened, though? Seriously. They brought Ruff up. Do you think Farhan says,
They have no right-handed hitters,
yeah,
Danny.
do you think he went, I just had Piscotty, but I'm a little embarrassed to call him back? Or do you think he called Piscotty and Piscotty said, go pound sand. I'm not I'm not coming to you guys. I mean, why wouldn't you call Piscotty? Oh, I know why. Because Ruff is free. They basically have to pay him the minimum while the Mets pay him the $3 million that he's owed. The Mets are paying him. So they're just paying him $725. That's it. That's why. That's why.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, say that again. Oh, yeah, because then it doesn't cost them anything.
Not
yeah, I mean,
cost
we
them
know.
anything.
I mean, none of these guys really cost anything, really, in the grand scheme of things. There's not a big money guy here. Peter Zimmer says, Larry, question is, could you get Marcus Thompson to join the Krueger show? Oh, absolutely. Just never asked him. I can absolutely get him on.
Oh, Marcus is great. He's a fun interview too. I love listening to him when he came.
We got a little back and forth going on here between
on the cereal.
Well, no, people attacking me, people attacking Copes. Copes is a good guy. Let's not attack Copes. You want to attack me, but don't attack Copes. James Foster says, Krug, KMBR legend. Check me out tomorrow on 95.7, the game. There you go. With Mark Willard.
Did you bet Willard about the 14 strikeouts or something the other day?
Yeah, I own a box of donuts.
Oh man,
Willard is that guy that as soon as you boast, he's like, "You want to bet?" And then of course you got to bet, and then all of a sudden you lose your betting because you've been boasting. He's that guy.
How's he? I haven't been picking him up because I've been busy and I was out of the country. What's he saying about the Giants right now?
The thing, Mark's not a stooge, and he's not working for, the leader. He's working for 95.7, so he's a little bit more independent. I mean, he's not, he doesn't see things through, orange and black goggles. I think he's being fair. I mean, he comes across when he's on with me, I'm sure, as defending the club because I'm attacking and he's trying to balance me out. But he's always going to take a little bit more glass half full approach. He's just an optimist. I'm a little bit more of a cynic. I'm a little bit more of a realist. I either believe or I don't. And if I don't, then I can't fake it. I can't sit there and be like, you know what? Check them out tonight, folks. They're turning this bad boy around. I'll tell you that right now. No. I'm just not. I'm not wired that way. Brian Iglesias says Giants baseball. Who the F are these guys? Yeah, for my major league. You ever see Major League is an awesome one. Who the F are these guys? That'd be a great commercial. People would at least embrace that and have fun. Look at this one from Eddie. $72 a month to watch on YouTube TV? I canceled today.
Oh, man.
But that's YouTube television, right?
Yeah.
This is just YouTube.
Yeah.
Mark Hope, $20 super sticker. Mark, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. The super sticker, there's no comment. It's just
like going into the club and throwing cash down.
It's just, hey, you know what?
Throwing dollar bills.
I'm just peeling you off a 20, bitch. Like that. That's it.
That's it.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
We got this one. Senior softball games. Mark Hope dropping 20s. That's the way Mark Hope rolls, okay? That's the way Mark Hope rolls. Brian Lucina. Morton's is jealous of Larry's salt. Yeah, thank you.
I'm surprised you didn't make senior softball games since you just got through with Easter. It's over. You didn't make them do like 25 Hail Marys or something to come back in.
Yeah, no, I'm that guy. If you say something that pisses me off, I'll block you. But the next day, if you say, you know what, I'd like to be back in, I'm always like, come on back. What the hell?
Yeah.
I can never stay mad at anybody.
I don't think he did anything.
I was like that as a kid. I could never stay mad at you. If I was mad at, I would try to stay mad at my dad, and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't stay mad at him. I'd try, and then I was what the hell?
Lawrence?
Life's too short. Life's too short. Val Ramos says, Larry and Dan always make a great show. Are you kidding me? This is like, we got to get Rye back in here. We haven't had Rye in here in a while.
Yeah. We had some good fun times with, especially the. Oh yeah,
I had a guy today send me a note saying that, Krug, I love all your stuff and this and that, and I know all the different Niner creators that you have on and so on, but I kind of miss the original Krug show with you, Danny, and Rye. We did have a lot of fun last summer, and we will continue to. I'm hoping Rye jumps in maybe on the Warrior post game, maybe game one.
Yeah, that would be good.
Maybe if you talk to him Saturday night is going to be off the hook. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I think it'll be. I don't know if you're around, but you're obviously welcome. And Ra and Cy and Baller and Frank and Rye and Kylan and all the callers and all the chatters, and we're going to be blowing that thing out big time. What's your prediction on Warriors Kings? I'm saying I'm going to go in 6. I'm going gentleman's sweep. I think I like the Warriors to win game 1. But I think Sacramento gets game. I'm a little torn on this. I think Sacramento runs them off the floor one time in Sacramento. Maybe that's game 2. Maybe that's game 5.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one.
I had Sean Proctor on my channel.
I saw that. How's he doing?
He's doing good. We were talking. I can't remember. I thought he said maybe he thought the Kings might win game 1, but the Warriors would win game 2. And 3 and 4. It's I mean, you heard Draymond's comments, right? Yeah. On what, their young team on his podcast about we got to get them early, they're inexperienced playoffs.
I know. Well, does that make you think that the Warriors may come out and win game 1? Because I think Golden State.
Yeah, I like the Warriors in game 1. I think they're rested.
I think they're showing lots of energy early in games now. Yeah. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Brian Lucena has become a YouTube member. I always give a little clap to the YouTube members. Brian, thanks for becoming a YouTube member. And he says, okay, thanks. Dealing with my mom's dementia, really brutal to see. How you guys been? Oh man, sorry to hear that. That can be very difficult to deal with.
Yeah,
for sure.
Sad. That's very sad.
Yeah, no, my grandmother had terrible dementia, and she was a very happy person, so it made it a little bit easier because she was always just happy to see you, even if she didn't remember who you were. But dementia can be really, really tough on a lot of people. So I feel you, brother. I really do. And we're glad that we can be here to give you a little distraction. All right, yeah, Nate Dogg's in the house. Nate Dogg, how are you, man?
Hey, what's going on?
He took the bait. He's in.
There you go. Oh, look at that. Light the beam.
Light the beam, baby.
Light the beam. Where are you coming from, Nate Dogg? Where are you at?
I'm in Woodland. I'm from Woodland.
Oh, Woodland. Okay. That's
there
awesome.
you go. Been to Woodland.
Up there. Home of Dustin Pedroia. That's
right. It was one of the greatest little ball players I think I've seen in the last 20, 25 years. I actually did a show one time from the Woodland Superstore. They had some big Chevy dealership. I was doing a deal on the weekends for KHTK with Chris Townsend, and we did a remote out at Woodland at the Woodland Superstore. Also, when I got a ticket one time in Davis, with my car, sure enough, I had to pay the ticket, and you had to pay it in person. And I looked at it, and it's like, you got to pay this in downtown Woodland.
You're like, what the hell's Woodland? What the hell's over there?
I mean, they got a nice Costco.
Hey,
I'll say that.
We got a Costco. Yeah. We got an In-N-Out now. We're turning into a pretty successful town.
You guys got an In-N-Out going?
I mean, when you get an In-N-Out and a Costco, you're doing something right.
Do you got a Chick-fil-A?
We don't have a Chick-fil-A, and that's
all right. We gotta get out. We gotta go. No.
Mate, it was fun, but we gotta go.
That's it. I mean, come on, get the hell out of here. No Chick-fil-A.
No, I heard you guys talking about the game, so I thought, hey, I should just jump in and give you a
little jump in, man. And by jumping in on the New York style Italian sausage line, you automatically qualify for a chance to win the grand prize.
I mean, when I heard sausage, I figured this is my time to shine, baby.
Exactly. They're calling my name. I gotta get in there.
If it was steak and lobster, no, I'm fine. But sausage, Italian sausage, we're in.
There you go.
I've heard you guys talking about the series. I'm really excited.
I'm excited too. My brother's a judge, so he's up in Sac. He lives in Natomas, and we both grew up Warrior fans. Except I'm a loyal Warrior fan, and he's a fucking traitor. And now he's a Kings fan.
Yeah, I've heard you say that. I've been watching a bunch of the Giants post game. So we're aligned. I'm a Giants fan and a 49er fan. This is just the one team that we have a little.
Now, were you a Warrior fan, or were you not a basketball fan, and then you became a Kings fan?
I've always been a Kings fan. So I grew up in Woodland, and I'm 31. So like,
yeah. So what year? What year were you born?
I was born in '91. So when the Kings were in their
Kings
heyday,
were already here.
in the early 2000s, I was like
10-year-old?
late elementary school, 10-year-old. So for me, that was like peak sports for me. It was Barry Bonds. It was the Kings and the Lakers. That was everything,
Yeah.
But in the
so do you go to a bunch of games? You go out to Golden One very often?
Yeah, I went to a couple games this year. It's been incredible. I mean, for like the first time in forever, it's just like, wow, is this what it's like to actually have like a good product to watch? And is this what it's just crazy. I mean,
I'm happy for you guys, man. I'm happy because you know what I love about Mike Brown, and I was saying this earlier to Willard. The one thing about the Kings, and you know it as a fan, that they've had some decent momentum at different times in the last, let's say, 10 years. But then all of a sudden, DeMarcus freaks out and goes off on some Sac B reporter, or, suddenly you've got guys arguing and the whole thing fractures and they don't win a game for 3.5 weeks. And you're like, what the hell's going on here? The one thing about Mike Brown is Mike Brown's like Kerr. He brings the entire team along from Halloween at the beginning of the season, early November, to right now. They don't fracture. They stay together. He stays positive. He brings the players along. He doesn't bury guys for weeks and weeks and months. He brings the whole team along. And to me, once I saw, them go for Mike Brown over Mark Jackson, I was like, all right, they got a shot now. They got a shot. And then Monty McNair's made some pretty good moves, let's be honest. I think bringing in Herter was smart. I kind of wonder if they had been able to move Fox instead of Halliburton, would they have chosen to move Fox? They probably would have. But now Fox, I love how Mike Brown just recognized early on, hey, let's put the ball in Fox's hands and let's run. And look what it's been. I mean, it's revolutionized the entire offense. I still like the Warriors to win the series, but Sacramento. I'm more excited for this series than I've been for any Warriors series in a long time because I know what this potentially can do to Northern California. I don't think people realize how cool this is going to be with Warriors, Kings, and all the back and forth, and no matter how it goes, it's going to be damn good.
Yeah, I was kind of split, but now I'm really excited for the series. But initially, I wanted to play the Clippers just because I feel like the Kings match up with the Clippers better. They're a little bit more of a veteran team. We've played them really well. Our speed.
Yeah, you guys wasn't that the game you guys won like 176, 175 or
double overtime?
Yeah, that was amazing. I was thinking about that score, 176 to 175.
Whereas now it's like, congratulations on the 3 seed. Here's the defending champs and the best shooter of all time. Go get them. It's like, Jesus.
How are you feeling as a Kings fan about this? But before you answer that, Brian Iglesias, who I like to call 95.7 Brian, says the Warriors-Kings series will be ultimately coming down to if the Kings' big three of De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Herter, and Domantas Sabonis will be able to outplay Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green for 4 games. What's your vibe on it? I mean, give me your perspective on how this series is going to go.
Yeah, I was just talking to some friends about it today, and I was like, because I have some, the group chat's going crazy. I went to Sonoma State, so most of the group chat's Warriors fans. We got a couple of us SAC fans that are trying to hold down the fort while we're getting bombarded by Warriors fans, but it's all in fun. I said it this way. I was like, if someone put a gun to me and said pick the winner of the series, or else, it's like I hate. I'm gonna pick the Warriors. I do think. I mean, the experience, the championship pedigree. It's kind of hard to go against that. But I do think that the Kings have a better shot than a lot of people are giving them credit for. I mean, I've watched pretty much every Kings game this year. I've watched a lot of other teams too, but obviously the Kings lack on defense. But like, if you take even a 5-minute lapse of just kind of playing lackadaisical and you're not really following Herter and Keegan Murray, I mean, they will light you up and put 150 on the scoreboard. So the thing that gives me hesitation is we just haven't seen this Kings team in the playoffs and in crunch time. But I do think that the offense will translate, and Brian Iglesias brought up Kevin Herter, and you did a video recently. You were talking about a couple of the guys, and I was thinking one of the guys I don't think was brought up was Kevin Herter, and I think he could be a big X factor because for one, he's been in the playoffs, but him and Sabonis have a really incredible relationship and chemistry that they've built, and obviously Sabonis is an incredible distributor. So, I think Kevin Herter is a guy that if he can get hot, I think the Kings have a pretty good shot. If our 3-pointers aren't falling, then I get pretty concerned because post All-Star break, the Warriors are like top 10 in offensive and defensive rating both. So I have plenty of concerns for the Kings, like if our shots aren't falling. But I do actually think that this goes 6 or 7. If the Warriors end up killing us in 4 or 5, it'll look silly. But I think no matter what happens, I think a lot of people at the end of the series are going to be like, wow, this Kings team is actually a lot better than I realized.
I agree. To me, I looked at the Kings, and the one thing I can see the Warriors doing is, Eric at the bottom here says look out for Malik Monk in this series, but you got GP2, and I think GP2. If I'm Kerr, I've seen Sacramento when Monk has a bad game, that's the game they lose, but Monk has also gone for like 45. He's a big time scorer. He's a scorer.
He's a little inconsistent, like you're alluding to.
But he's also dangerous and really volatile as far as like this guy can flat out fill it up and he can do it in an instant. So if I'm the Warriors, I'm putting GP2 on him and I do not let him get loose. But the other one I'm kind of wondering about is De'Aaron Fox is Steph going to be able to bother De'Aaron Fox, or is De'Aaron Fox going to roll downhill the entire series? And if that's the case, that could be really, really tough.
And that's actually a big reason why I give the Kings a pretty good shot in this series. I think more so than most people is I've seen Fox just go crazy this year, and there hasn't really been anyone to slow him down that much, especially in the fourth quarter. I mean, you look at his fourth quarter stats.
He's awesome in the fourth. He's as good as anybody.
But then it's like there's just so many question marks, and you have Wiggins coming back, and we don't know, obviously, the shape that he's going to be in and how they'll acclimate him. But I'm like, if there is anyone to slow him down, it probably would be a guy like Wiggins with his length. But, man, I've seen Fox just go crazy this year, and he's so fast, and he changes speeds on you. So he's going blazing fast 1 second, and then he's Euro-stepping and slowing you down. So, like you said, if Fox can kind of get loose and the Warriors struggle containing Fox, I mean –
yeah, that's the one concern I have is Fox he's so quick and he goes all the way to the hole. If they, with Murray and Herter out standing out there at the 3-point line, they're going to collapse on Fox and then he could kick it out. Or if, he gets the key will be, I think, is it for the Kings would be to try who's ever guarding Fox to get that person in foul trouble. Mm-hmm. So, like, if they can take Peyton out of the game, if Peyton's guarding him, or
Curry. I mean, if you get Curry into foul trouble,
if you get Curry 2 quick fouls in the first quarter, they usually take him out.
Also, what's Keegan Murray going to do in this series? That's also my question, because he's a 41% 3-point shooter and he's got size. Those are hard guys to defend. And especially if Fox is breaking people down and kicking it out to Keegan, is Keegan going to have some open looks? And if he starts knocking those down, and also we got to be honest. I mean, that crowd is going to be going crazy. Yeah. So momentum early in games is going to be big. I just kind of picture the Warriors getting blown out in Sacramento at least once. And I'm not sure exactly which game it will be.
1, 2, or 5?
I would say it's probably
it's not 7.
I'm going to say it's game 5. And the other senior softball game says Davion Mitchell is a pretty good defender too. Yeah, he's probably their best defender. And Alex Barbados says the X factor is HB. He says Barnes wants to show out against the Warriors. I think one of the X factors in this series is Jordan Poole, because Jordan Poole can shoot you out of a game. And sometimes he falls in love with the perimeter shot. And on this team, he needs to put it on the deck and get inside. The other really uneasy part of this series for me is Wiggins. You know, what is Wiggins going to contribute? How long is Kerr going to stick with him? Is he going to force feed Wiggins? Because, I mean, in my mind, I would not do that. You have Kuminga playing well. You have Moses Moody playing the best ball of his year right now. So why not go with those guys a few more minutes if Wiggins struggles, getting back in the lineup and just kind of I'd slowly work Wiggins back. Wiggins hasn't played for 7 weeks. I mean, that right there is that's a major, odd wrinkle in this series. I mean, how many series can you think of where somebody's introducing a player back to their lineup that's been gone for almost 2 months?
Yeah, I
And
think
they
some
didn't.
people talk like you can just put them back in, but it's like,
Right.
it doesn't. These are professional athletes, and this is the highest level. Like, it's going to take, might not take long, but it might take a couple games. It's hard to say.
95.7 Brian asked the question, who's the best player on the Kings, Fox or Sabonis? As an outsider, I would believe it to be Sabonis. What do you think, Nate Dogg? Who's the best King?
I think it is pretty hard to argue against Sabonis. I think I would probably have to go with Sabonis because of his all around game. I mean, he's, what's his nickname? Jokic Light. I mean, he's done some things this year, like Wilt Chamberlain-esque with his efficiency and his 3 categories. But I would say that Fox is kind of right there with him. But I would give the edge to Sabonis.
Will you be getting into the Golden One for any of these games? Are you watching? Are you strictly watching it on the tube? Because the prices are astronomical.
I know. I'm like, I might have to just head west on 80 and go over to San Francisco. It's looking like.
Come down to the Chase Center.
I'm not sure. I'm actually going to fly down to San Diego tomorrow, and I'm going to be in Disneyland for a few days. We planned this, and I was like, holy shit. I'm going to be in Disneyland for the Kings' first playoff game in 17 years. How did this happen? But
first of all, have you in downtown Disney is that ESPN zone, and that is go watch it there, man. I mean, they got awesome big screens in that place.
So we're either going to go there. I have been there before.
In downtown Disney, the ESPN zone is pretty sweet. Where else were you thinking?
Just back to the hotel because it's right there on the ground, somewhere nearby. But so I told the friends, I'm like, look, I hate to do this. Disneyland is more important. Blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm going to watch the fucking Kings game.
Disneyland is more important. I don't know. I don't know if I would say that.
That's what I said.
By the way, senior softball game says the ESPN Sports Zone's gone.
Oh, really?
It's closed.
I didn't even know
that. There you go. ESPN's dialing it back these days. ESPN ain't what it used to be. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I had to lie to the Disney people and tell them Disney was more important, but that I'm leaving to go watch the Kings game, so they understand.
We got this one from 95.7 Brian. He says there's a lot of discussion about the crowd. Which will be the better crowd, Sac in the first round or Boston in last year's finals? Dubs of the ultimate crowd silencer, the Splash Brothers. Yeah, first of all, what do you think it's going to be like? People have waited a long time, but here's the thing: that Boston crowd is raucous and rude.
And that's
the Sacramento fans are enthusiastic, but they're not rude like that. They're not going to chant. They're not going to chant "F you, Draymond," or anything like that. But what do you think the crowd's going to be like? Because do you think it's going to be a nervous crowd because the Warriors are the defending champions and are this team that's obviously far better than your typical 6 seed? Or is it going to be, a crowd that's just absolutely on edge, fired up, and carries the team through? What do you think the fans are going to be like up there?
I think just extremely fired up. I don't really sense that they're too nervous, and maybe they need a dose. Maybe if the Warriors come out and Steph just starts splashing threes in their face, maybe they'll get a dose of reality and start being more nervous. But I sense that in the beginning, they're just going to be going absolutely crazy. I think there's going to be cowbells going. Yeah. All the standing room is going to be full. It's just going to be.
Are we going to have purple flags, everybody, or white? What are they going to be?
The white flags look really cool, don't they? Have you ever seen when their whole state when the Giants won of those playoff years and they had the white towels?
What are they? They're going to have something for game one. I guarantee they're going to have. Everybody's going to have a towel. Whether it's white or purple or 50-50, white and purple.
Yeah.
It's going to be raucous and it's going to be
off the hook. Who is the premier Kings media person? Like if you had to say, you know what, the Kings game just ended, they did whatever, and now I got to hear this guy talk about it. Not necessarily, let's say, present company excluded. Outside of us, who would you say is who's the guy? I mean, I'm wondering because like Saturday morning, I've got Jason Ross on from KHTK. I'm friends with Carmichael Dave. You know, I mean, Deuce. I don't know if you know Deuce, but my man Deuce.
That's my answer. It's Deuce and Mo for me.
Really, it's Deuce.
It's the night chat.
Deuce used to run the board for me on the weekends when I was on KHTK in 2007.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Deuce and I go way back.
Deuce Mason.
Yes, Deuce Mason.
No, I love Deuce and Mo. I love the night chat. I've met him a couple times, or I've met Morgan once at one of the games. I ran into her, but
does Danny know Deuce and Mo? Deuce has a co-host, and it's his girlfriend, right, or his wife?
You know, I don't know. A couple
it's his
people have
girlfriend.
asked him, and they said no, or they don't really talk about it. So I just
oh really? So I just outed them.
They're either not together, or it's his girlfriend, and they're not allowed to talk about it because they work together. I'm not sure which one, but
that sounds like an awkward show right there.
I just assumed it was his girlfriend, but then someone asked them, and they're like, "No, that's not what it is. Just because we work together, that doesn't mean that." So I was like,
oh, really? Maybe things are on the outs.
How's Grant Napier? Does he still have a voice?
He's not there.
I know he's not there, but does he still have a voice in the show?
He's got his YouTube show, obviously, that he's been on with Larry. I've seen him, but
I'm on tomorrow with Grant.
That's what he said. Yeah, he's in Sacramento, actually.
Tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning, check me out on the Grant Napier show, and then Grant will join me on the Krueger show on Sunday to recap Game 1. So look for that this weekend. Grant's the man. Grant is the man.
I check out Deuce and Mo, and they have this upbeat. They'll put the fog going and all that, and that's like my vibe, and that's really fun. But I also like listening to Grant Napier too because he was the voice of the Kings forever, and
he's awesome. You don't like that? You don't like Kings basketball?
We've got a dandy here in Charlotte tonight. Oh boy, you know.
Grant Napier is the best, man. He is the best.
We used to call it the dandy alert. We'd be like, "Oh, it's a good game. It's getting late. This could be a dandy alert. This could be," and he'd be like, "We've got a dandy." We'd be like, "Ah!" But I love the Grant. I love that Grant. Kind of like how I feel about Grant Cohn, the other Grant. It's like I don't need all my media to be really positive and just sugarcoating everything.
Right.
I kind of like someone to be like, no, this has kind of been bullshit, and I don't like this, and this should be like this, you know. So I like that, you know, if like the Kings have a bad loss or we played horrible defense or, you know, couldn't stop fouling a big, you know, it's kind of therapeutic to listen to Grant kind of, you know, rip someone. Just like you with the Giants when you and Dan get real salty in here. It's kind of like a therapy. You know, it's kind of like, why did I live bet the Dodgers when the Dodgers were down 3-0 today? It's kind of like, it's just kind of therapeutic to kind of, you know, just kind
of. You're a Giants fan, you bet against them. I said it on 95.7 the game today. I'm like, dude, bet the Dodgers tonight. Come on, there. You think the Dodgers are going to lose 2 out of 3?
Yeah,
with Kershaw and the Giants are fodder against all lefties right now.
I love Carlo P's comment below this one. Nate Dogg running away with the sausage right now.
He's got the sausage in his bag. Hey, well, there's only one caller. I've got a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah,
Nate Dogg. Seriously, Nate Dogg's going to be the qualifier tonight.
You talk about Grant Napier. How fun he was to listen to. I grew up with Bill King and the Warriors. The guy was so animated. He was always on the officials. He once got a technical foul called on him. The radio announcer got a T.
Really? Bill King was like the greatest basketball announcer of all time, Nate Dogg. I don't know if Nate Dogg's too young for Bill King, but Bill King was the best basketball announcer of all
Richie Powers is losing.
I've heard about him, but I haven't really listened to him.
He was incredible.
We got Gary Gerald now, too, which is great. I love
the G-Man. The G-Man.
Whenever I hear his voice,
somebody asked him one time, I think it might have been Chris Townsend, why do they call you the G-Man? He's like, they just do. I was like, all right. Hey, easy there, G. But he had no real origin of the G-Man. Just
well, his last name's Gerald, right? So it's probably just for Gary or his first name. Hey,
exactly.
I had a comment, and I can let you guys go here if you want, but I had a comment about the Giants because we were just talking about the Giants, and we talk about Farhan and his spreadsheets and all that. And Brian Iglesias brought up earlier. He made a good point about why didn't the Giants walk Muncy, because he's been terrorizing us, and we had an open base.
Right.
And I just kind of found it funny in the sense that like we can't let Alex Wood pitch through an inning when he's giving up one hit to qualify for a win, but it's okay to pitch to a guy that's just been absolutely torching us. It's just some of that stuff doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Oh, there's all kinds of inconsistencies. I didn't realize there was a base open there because I was walking out of the room. But yeah, that's heinous. Come on. The guy's basically totally the hottest. He's basically like Ted Williams against your team, and you pitch to him in that situation, and he goes deep on you again. So yeah, I mean,
and what's up with Rogers putting his glove in the hat in the trash can? Did you guys see that?
Taylor Rogers did?
Yeah.
I heard that. I didn't see it. I didn't
see it either.
So they showed it. So he goes into the dugout after he gets pulled after all of his parade of walks. I've never seen this before. He puts his hat on top of the glove and then just puts it into the trash can, and then he walks back to the dugout, and then he starts like smacking the bench. And then I saw it on Instagram. I was like, what the hell? I was like, I've never seen, we were talking about in the group chat, we're like, I've never seen anyone throw their glove away. And then I think like Bleacher Report, someone posted it, and they're like, look at this guy throwing his glove and his hat away. But just a weird thing. We were flaming him, saying it's not your gloves and your hat fault. Maybe you should put yourself in the trash can. But,
seriously, I mean, I like that though. I like a guy who's like hard on himself like that.
At least I know, and I feel
it's accountability. Why not? I mean, you know what? And it's like basically saying, man, I stunk up this joint. Here's I mean, when you're giving up a walk on a timer, in a big situation against your rival, that looks bad. That one looks really bad. Central Valley King says Grant should call a radio game. He got fired and character assassinated by people who did not like him personally. Yeah, I mean that Grant Napier got totally hosed. And look who went against him. It was Matt Barnes, Chris Webber, and DeMarcus Cousins.
He was a casualty of the current woke culture,
Well, I mean, but it's just unfortunate because I know Grant Napier, and I've known him. I was an intern for him in 1989, and I've seen him. When the cameras are on, I've seen him when the cameras are off. I've never seen him ever say anything to anybody that in any way was even questionable. And for those guys to come out of the woodwork, cite really nothing, and to just be like, oh, yeah, we know. And then everybody bowed to that, and he's out of there after like 25 years of doing it. Pathetic. Kings are pathetic. The radio station was pathetic. I mean, that's one of the weakest things I think I've ever seen.
Yeah,
is him getting run out.
To end his career over that was a
brutal. And then the poor guy had to move basically out of Sacramento where he lived. He lived up in El Dorado Hills there, and had to move out of there because it's such a small town. Everybody's pointing and it's harassing, and I mean, so he moved to Miami. I mean, that's how you thank a guy who did 30 years of your basketball and is the most identifiable person in the history of your franchise. I mean, it's just wrong on so many levels. Brian Iglesias says the worst aspect about Muncy owning the Giants is that he hates playing at Oracle. How can you hate a park that you own? Insult to injury. Well, he just says that. He loves it. Are you kidding me? He walks in that park and is like, I own this beast. I'm dominant. That guy's so easy to hate, by the way, Max Muncy.
You know what the Farhan should have done is instead of telling us about Aaron Judge and all these great players we're going to get, he should have said, you know what, guys? We're going to go after Max Muncy in the next couple of years. That guy terrorizes us.
Max Muncy said
I would not want him. I would not want him here.
He goes, he hates our park. He goes, I don't know why I hit well here, because I can't stand it. It's cold. It's windy. It's kind of damp. He goes, I don't like this park. It's the worst park to me in baseball. And yeah, he kills the Giants. He continues
to kill him. I mean, you'll never forget the infamous Bumgarner
fishing out of the ocean.
Honestly, I felt like Bumgarner would get a little could get a little touchy at times. But
Bumgarner, come on, let's be honest. We all love Bumgarner. Game 7, 2014 World Series, nothing like it. One of the greatest moments in the history of the World Series. But that guy's policing, I police the field crap was so tired. He needed to be called out on that. I called him out on the radio a couple times and just took tons of abuse from Giants fans. That's our hero. I mean, it's like, I get it. You love him. Game 7, 2014. I get it. But this Sergeant Slaughter crap has got to end, you know? He seriously got crazy after 2014 about anybody who didn't do things exactly the way he wanted. He just became like, this is my field. It's like, what? Easy, Big Madison.
It was weird. He's not that way as much in Arizona, isn't it?
No.
Well, he's not pitching very well.
He's not pitching well. So
I'll tell you, he's loving. Yeah, he's getting bombed now. Shantae Ortega says, "I love that red ass." Of course, we all do. We all love him, but I mean, it's like he went overboard on Puig and just overboard on. He was always insulted, but this guy did this and this guy did that. Just pitch. It's funny though. I did an interview with Hunter Strickland. And I was in spring training. It was a few years ago, and I'm like, "So, man, what do you do? In Arizona at night? You guys go out, or is there anything? Because not a lot to do in Arizona at night." And he's like, "Oh, I love it. We have me and Bum. We go out every night." I'm like, "What do you guys do?" He goes, "Oh yeah, we go hunting for coyotes." And I said, "What?" He goes, "No." He goes, "You never hunt for coyotes?" I go, "Hunt for coyotes?" I go, "I lived in the city. I rode the Muni. I don't hunt for anything." And I go, "Tell me about it." And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's awesome, man. We get a couple beers and we get a hat with a light on it, and we just camp out in the bushes until you hear some rustling, and then you just flip on that light and you just start shooting." And I'm like, "Oh my God, sounds like the most reckless, sounds like a way to die out there. You're hunting for coyotes."
Imagine the rest of the teammates are like, "Hey guys, we're going to go get a few pitchers of beer and, we're going to go have some fun and talk ball and talk shit." They're like, "Nah, we're going to go hunt some coyotes."
We're going to hunt some coyotes. In fact, I got to go get some batteries for my lighted up hat.
I got to go grease down my weapon.
You got to be a little careful in late March if it's warm, because the rattlesnakes come out too in the desert. And if you're
Danny, you ever hunt for coyotes when you're there?
Yeah, once, and gone out for some rattlesnakes too. But
speaking of Larry, that story that you mentioned when Ryan was visiting Dan was making me just about cry laughing one night. You were like, "Hey, we talked to the wife. She's really not too cool with you sleeping in here. It's just kind of some COVID stuff, this and that. We're going to have you out on the patio. We haven't seen a rattlesnake in like 2 weeks, though, so don't even."
You're going to be good. You'll be fine. You're going to be good.
If he would have got here in time, that would have been great. I was going to do it.
These
doors
ones are
right behind me.
5 or 6 feet long. They're not like 8
Oh,
feet.
they're little baby gardener snakes. They'll
say,
wrap around you. They'll keep you warm. Are you kidding me? They're great.
You know what? Hey, Rye, we can't keep you here, but my neighbor, she's 87. She's got an extra room.
I'm playing the Arnold Palmer course in North Phoenix. It's called the Legend Arrowhead, right? Is several. You ever heard of it, Danny?
I know exactly where it is. Yeah.
Yeah, nice little spot, but it's desert golf. It's true desert golf. So if you hit the ball, you hit the ball OB. I mean, it's basically desert landscape with who knows what. And so anyway, I'm playing with a buddy. He hits it OB, and I hit the ball on the other side of the fairway. So I took my eyes off him, and all of a sudden I see him walking through all these cactus and all this stuff. I'm like, "Bro, that's OB. OB in the desert means you drop, dude. You drop another ball. Don't go walking through there. You're gonna." And as I say, "You're gonna," he's like, "Ow!" And a snake bit him on the ankle.
A rattler?
A rattler bit him on the ankle through his sock, and he had the thing on his leg, and he's like, "Ah!" Unbelievable.
No
Now
way.
it was a small snake, and he shook it loose. But he got bit on the ankle walking. I go, "Dude, it's desert golf. You do not chase your golf ball through a bunch of rocks and cactuses and everything."
Was the Pro V1 worth it?
I know, seriously,
Did
dude.
he have to go?
You want
did he
you
have
want
to
an
go to
extra
the-
top flight? Here, have one of mine.
Did he play through, or did he have to leave?
No, he had to leave. Are you kidding me? He was bleeding from his ankle.
Yeah, so he probably had to get an anti-venom
Well,
shot or
I
whatever.
don't know. He didn't. We went to the hospital. He didn't have any venom in him, but it broke the skin. It did break the skin. But yeah.
Usually those young ones, they let all their venom out when they bite.
Well, this was maybe it wasn't a rattler because
it wasn't a rattler. Yeah,
it was but he definitely got a bite on the ankle because he had two on the top and one on the bottom, so they had three. I think it was somebody said it was a rattler, and there wasn't a rattler, but it was a different kind of snake.
Have you played TPC Scottsdale?
No, the stadium course where they have the Phoenix Open. No, but that's like one of on my bucket list of sporting events to go to.
Oh, you would have a good time, Larry.
I mean, it's supposedly an awesome time in the galleries. People are drinking beer. It's rowdy.
They're like 5 a.m. People are waiting to get in, just chanting, singing songs. I mean, it's pretty sweet.
It's a wildest tournament on the tour.
Hey, let's do this. It's midnight. We're gonna wrap it right here.
Yeah.
But Nate Dogg, hang with us on the line so we can as soon as we're done with the broadcast, we'll write down your information so we can get you to qual. You are our qualifier for the night. But we'll do this. We'll put you back in the green room for just a minute. So
Okay,
hang in the green room. Don't go anywhere. Hold on. It's Nate Dogg hanging in the green room. Danny, you want to jet? I'm going to play a couple spots here.
I'm going to jet.
You got a final thought on this one?
Yeah, my final thought is
They suck.
get used to this. There's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it. Play the damn kids. All right, Danny, we'll talk to you. There you go, Dan Coach Amelia. All right, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. Check them out, Corte Madera and in Emeryville. Corte Madera open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They're open in Emeryville Wednesday through Sunday. Pig and a Pickle, and here's what it looks like.
So New York style sausage was started over 70 years ago. We are the largest producer of fresh Italian sausage on the West Coast.
What makes our sausage in New York style is really the recipe came from back east, from New York, from Connecticut.
If you look at all of our labels, there's maximum 4 or 5 ingredients, which we're really proud of.
There's no preservatives, no MSG, fresh in, fresh out.
The pork comes in fresh, goes out fresh. There's never any freezing throughout the process. We've always used fine quality cuts. We're never gonna deter from that. It's one of the reasons why our sausage is so good. I guarantee you put our sausage up against anybody else's from a flavor standpoint, no one will beat it, hands down.
Hey, do yourself a favor and do me a favor. Go buy a package of the New York style Italian sausage. Guaranteed you will love it. Guaranteed.
All right, good show tonight. Thanks to everybody, Danny. Thanks to Nate Dogg. Thanks to all of you in the chat. Check us out tomorrow. Big day on the channel tomorrow. Jordan Elliott's going to stop by tomorrow night at 8:30. I'll be on Grant Napier's channel tomorrow morning at 10:30 in the morning. Damon Bruce potentially could be stopping by tomorrow at 7:30. And from 2 to 6, I'll be on with Mark Willard on 95.7 The Game. Join us for all of it. And thanks for another great night on the Krueger Show.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked for. Here for whatever you bring me, getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need to ask.